Okay, so we have presented to you network-based evacuation system, and last night I presented to you Washington D.C. corridor-based evacuation. So after present this large network, so after you evacuate traffic to the beltway, beltway itself could be another congested area, and then how are we going to do the evacuation and traffic management on the beltway? That is the today's focus. And then I will have two short presentations. One is eye chart using cell phone system for the Ocean City to take advantage of the iPhone's information for the traffic management and information system. And the third one is dilemma zones protection system. The other two will be short. So hopefully we can finish early. No class tomorrow, okay? Okay, the outline of the presentation covers three parts. Again, traffic information system, traffic monitoring, and evacuation management, and the key feature of the systems. If you remember last night, if you did not fall asleep, you remember what we talked about is this area, this Washington D.C. Okay, and this side is Maryland, this side is Virginia. Okay, and so from the Washington D.C. Traffic Department point of view, their job is just send everybody to the beltway, okay? Appear to be this fine, okay? But actually, beltway is another major commuting through traffic corridor. It's actually very congested. But beltway belong to Maryland and Virginia. So when we did the evacuation system and traffic management for Washington D.C., they don't care. All they care is to reach the boundary, okay? That's a typical interagencies problem, okay? So this problem is not only in developing country, in developed country too, okay? I do my job and let you take care of my problem. Okay, so we have another issue to deal with. If any accident happen here and huge population will going to move to this area, or some incident around this area, how are you going to evacuate the whole network? Again, I want to emphasize, in most major United States, the major city, they do have a beltway, okay? But beltway is not correct design. It's a wrong concept for traffic, unless you have a bypass traffic. Otherwise, you can see any point has a bottleneck, then the entire beltway will be congested. Unfortunately, developing countries, they all copy this design. So you can see in Beijing, they have one beltway, two beltway, three beltway, four, up to 6 or 7. And the more beltway they have, the more congestion happen in the system, okay? It's a wrong concept, okay? Don't copy those concepts. If traffic is moderate, it's light, not rich capacity, yes, beltway is a convenient design, okay? That's another issue. Okay, let's see how we design the system, okay? So first, we still have in addition to have one for this area, we have another for Baltimore. We also have one for DC. But Washington DC's beltway is much bigger than Baltimore's beltway. It's covered 2 cities. I think a round trip will take about, if free flow, may take more than 1.5 hours. I believe that's the case, okay? Around 1 hour, 35 to 40 minutes, take a round trip without the congestion, okay? So we have a GIS network traffic information system and cover major corridor and interchange, secondary connecting route. Connecting route means connect DC's boundary to those beltway, okay? Those are major corridor. Yesterday we mentioned about corridor-based, main arterial-based evacuation system, okay? And you have a access road and monitoring functions. And we have additional functions for each detectors. This all those points represent the detector locations, okay, and also some camera. Okay, for the detectors, each one we design a function. So for detector, you can have the past information, but in the meantime, we can also provide a prediction function to predict what the next future traffic condition. Okay, so that's new in this design. Okay. In other words, every detector functions as a one prediction, local prediction systems. And the system also connected to the camera system, okay? Camera systems, so you can see what's happened in the current traffic condition. In case you try to do any evacuation, you want to make sure your data is consistent with, your detector data is consistent with what has been seen from the video image, okay? And for the precision purpose, we also use a 3D satellite information to display the projected traffic condition. Assuming you're going to evacuate or send the people to some area, then you want to make sure the traffic condition is as you anticipated, will not cause another bottleneck, okay? And this is a major breach over the Potomac. It's always a bottleneck area. Okay. And here just to show you a real-world system can be a combination of all kinds of functions. You have detector, you have a camera, you have satellite image, or mathematical models and simulation model, all can be combined together as a useful tool. Of course, supported all those tools application are your research, your mathematical model, your statistical models. Okay, here is the real-time traffic monitoring and detour operation, okay? The on-ramp, off-ramp control, because it's a beltway, so traffic must come in from Washington, D.C. or Maryland or some area. So the main potential bottleneck could be at access point, which are ramps, on-ramp, off-ramp area. So in this design, we provide very detailed modeling of each interchange. So allow you to have a ramp metering control, off-ramp, on-ramp control. These are the functions allow you to specify either by your own experience or by all mathematical models. And also, allow you to use a camera to detect incident. We have a later on I will show you quite comprehensive deployment of the cameras around those areas. In fact, most of the operating agencies seems to prefer the camera. They think they can see something, okay? But all you can see is still a locations. Point, you still need what, as mentioned, to predict what happened, because you won't be so lucky to exactly see this incident scene. All you can see may be a queue with vehicles. So we still need a data from detector to do the operation. But this function is just for monitoring traffic condition and detour operation if coming from the if the traffic coming from the Washington D.C. area for any reasons. So you can select what you see bottleneck, or you try to speed the map, or you want to see the volume map, or you want to travel time information, or you want to provide the detour routings plans. Okay, so it's an integrated, comprehensive operation for the entire beltway, and this also allows you to identify critical intersections. Critical intersections are those intersections directly access to link to the ramp. Okay, we remember each ramp must connect with one major arterials, and those arteria usually have one or two intersections closely impacted by the off-ramp traffic or on-ramp traffic. Okay, and those are the ones should be under control. Okay? And those are the ones we talk about on-ramp metering control or off-ramp signal control. We should access those information and provide or optimal control parameter for those operations. Your camera can see actual traffic condition, but all they can see is current time t traffic condition. But in terms of your project condition, you still cannot see it. So you still have to use a simulation or 3D animation to show what would be the future traffic condition. For example, now 10:45, you want to know if I start to do the evacuation or any traffic control, what would happen at some location? Then you don't know the future condition. So you still have to base on the current condition to project future condition and simulate your projected result with 3D animations. You can use any program. Now almost every simulation program provides 3D functions. And this is the one similar to the previous one. Does give you a demand by time, okay? The time depends on different time, traffic condition, demand condition, okay? You can view the impact area with the impact zones, and also you can modify impact zone. For example, the actual impact zone may be this shape, but this one could be some important person or important facility there, or you may manually add or remove some of those impact zones. And as I mentioned, you need to have a customized user interface for the application point of view. Okay, it need to be user friendly and easy to apply. And this is useful one to define where are the control area. Okay, you have an impact area. You also have a control area. Control area means you have to, within those impact area, you need to static control, on-ramp, off-ramp control, freeway, mainline speed control, or reverse lane operation. You may not need to do the entire beltway control, but your model has to define based on the impact area and the evolution of the traffic condition, define how big area should be within your control and make your necessary control parameter adjustment. And those are the evacuation destinations. One to Baltimore, one to Frederick, all those predefined evacuations destination. Those traffic is very heavy during the rush hour, peak hours, okay? And that's all coming from those 6 origin. So if we want to do evacuation of traffic here from DC, then we have to send those people back, okay? And here to tell you, before you want to do evacuation, before you activate evacuation order to ask people to go, you want to know what are the current traffic conditions at those destinations. So here tell you what the current condition. If you don't know current condition, they may already congested. You still send people go there, maybe a problem. So we have a detect information and camera information to estimate and compute what are the current conditions as an input for your models, determine the assigned flow to each area. So you can choose how many corridor control, how many corridor, how many destinations should be within your evacuation plan. And we also provide the reverse lane operation. This all are freeway. So freeway is much easier to do a reverse lane operation. The one I mentioned very difficult to do is for what? For the urban arteria. Because urban arteria, you do have signals between. And freeway usually much easier. For example, you have accident, you have a work zone, they always do a reverse lane operation or take the inbound lane for outbound purpose, okay? So this is one of the possible traffic management scheme used in the large scale accident scenario or evacuation scenario called control flow operations. And of course, you also provide the real-time simulation system performance evaluation, okay? You have macro informations. And they also have a system input, 2D speed and volume evolution, bottleneck alerting, okay? Travel time prediction, system throughput. Just try to evaluate your plan will be working properly or not. As I mentioned earlier, mathematical model can never cover all the real-world parameter and variable and uncertainties. So we always solve a problem and then simulate, see whether the resulting traffic condition will be as good as we anticipate or not. So we always follow by the simulation. Your simulation may not precisely show the actual traffic condition, but at least in the relatively speaking, relativity level can identify where are the potential bottleneck area based on your design plan, based on your optimization result. And that's the purpose of having a fast, reliable simulation. In this case, we use a cross sim, okay, but you can use a different simulator to show you online simulation too, okay? This shows you the Woodrow Ocean Bridge. You see, simulation can combine with the actual video to provide a more realistic simulation result. Okay, now I'll quickly show you every modules. Okay, now you can see all those signal dot and those detector dot. Our facility include what? Detector, camera, signals, VMS. Those are actual devices in a complete operational network. And traffic status you want to know is where are the bottlenecks, speed, volume, travel time. This pretty much cover all you need, okay? And then you can click in to see where are those devices, whether it's functional or not. And the system has 3 different purposes. One, evacuation. If you don't have evacuation, most time we don't have evacuations, then you can use for recurrent congestion, means day-to-day recurrent congestion. And you can also use for non-recurrent congestion, such as you have an accident happen, okay? For example, here you want to show where are the detectors, okay? Then here tell you where are the detector location, okay? I told you this current time, traffic condition, and your detector should have some reliable way, convenient way to show the detector data. Otherwise, detectors data in general are underused by the operator, okay? So we show the current speed volume, also predict what's happened to the future for the past based on this point. So give you some idea whether this location going to be a bottleneck or not. This, you can use a simple function, time series analysis, or you can use a more sophisticated function, depending on your knowledge, okay? Then you can show the camera location, okay? You can zoom in camera. That's the most commonly used. Most traffic control center does have those information. And here's the left traffic, where the camera can see it. And you also can zoom in to see each intersection's single timing plan. And this current timing plan also can basically see what would be the optimal plan if you want to do any control. And you can do a travel time prediction too. Provide your travel time information from any location to any location, okay? As long as they have a VMS information. You can provide the historical speed data or current speed informations. This almost tell you all the functions for a traffic control center. So if you are working for any traffic control center, this PowerPoint could be for your references. And the volume, you can have a volume profile based on each detector information, okay? Volume is by detector data. If you want to know where are the potential bottleneck, then based on the detector data and the project volume, you should be able to show where are the potential bottleneck location. So you can highlight to see those could be kind of day-to-day recurrent congestion location, okay? This is actually true. This from 270 spin-off to 2 beltway. There's a day-to-day congested area. And you want to find out more detailed information, those bottleneck information. What the current speed, what the current volume, okay, and actually VPH per hour per lane, okay, is reached capacity. What would be happen for next couple hour or next half hour during the peak period. So basically, you can provide more information for those day-to-day recurrent congested location, okay? And then you can see in more detail, then you can see the congestion coming from where? Coming from off-ramp queue spillback or coming from main lines incident. That's the purpose for you to have a more 3D visualization support by camera, okay? 3D is used to predict the future, okay? Camera used to see the current condition. Right? The camera cannot tell you what's in the next 10 minutes traffic condition. Okay, module 2 for evacuation purpose. This function have 2. One, you can have create a new evacuation scenario. You can also, as I mentioned earlier, pre-design all possible scenario and save in your database. This is more likely to be the one use, okay? You think about all the possible scenarios and pre-analyze the system and design the control parameter, and you have your anticipated result. So if something happens, you just choose one of a scenario and display the project condition and come out of what should be done or the control plans. Then you can follow the strategy and implement. Otherwise, in the actual condition, everybody is so busy, you may not have time to do all simulation. And this is for you to create a new scenario, unless the actual scenario is quite different from the real world scenario you save in your database. Then you may want to choose the one close to your scenario, and in the meantime create a new one and to do the follow-up feedback, evaluation and modification of your control strategy. So identify location of the event, assuming is the one close to the 270. This could be a major accident. And then you want to zoom in to identify more detail what exact location, because people call you from 911 or you identify from the cell phone location. In general, sometimes the driver may not know precise location, but when they call in, control center 911 usually can base on your cell phone location to identify approximate location, and then you can zoom in to see what the detailed traffic condition, okay, and that's the purpose. And then you can identify what kind of accident or incident or emergency, okay. These are example of the emergency. If a nuclear attack, that's too late, okay. That's frankly too late. That's the one more like a nuclear attack will be wide scale, large scale. Huh? Nowhere you can go. Mostly radiations, biological attack, that's very common, very likely to happen, biological attack, okay? You select which tab, and based on the tab, there's another model, another computer program is already standardized, provided by Homeland Security, can tell you based on identify the incident, identify the emergency, and project the impact area. So this is a model input, and select a possible impact shape, which is based on the weather, temperature, and wind directions. And then in some cases or some emergency scenario, the impact area may not be static, could be changed over time, okay? Let's say you have a dirty bomb, radiation, or biological attack. That could be changed over time. Originally, the impact area is small, but with a strong wind and the direction is moving to the more population area, that could be a problem, okay? So your evacuation is competing, is racing with the propagation of the potential threat, okay? So you need to understand, given the time window, you have to evacuate, and the expansion speed of the impact area, see whether you can survive or not. If the operation too slow, this expansion may catch you, okay? Assuming catch by those radiation, you could be a serious fatality or injury happen, okay? So we need to know whether the impact area is static or evolution over time. In most of the cases, it's evolution over time, okay? Just a matter of the speed, fast or slow, okay? This is an example of expanding. And then we, based on the impact area, here say, okay, by what time the impact area will be covered such huge area, okay? Current time 9:45, by 10:45, this will all be impact. Okay, then you want to know how many zones, including this area, how many people need to be evacuated. So you can go to see what happened. See, those are the actual traffic zones within the impact area. Next, okay, where we're going to evacuate. Okay, here are all the potential evacuation area, okay, given the current condition. So you identify the destinations to detour traffics, send those traffickers, get to those destinations. So based on the location of the incident and the propagation, evolution of the impact area, we identify in 1 hour period, you have to control this area as your control boundary. Again, here you can see issue. How do you determine the control boundary? It's a dynamically evolve over time your boundary. If your evacuation operation come at a very slow speed, then your control boundary may be much bigger than this one, okay? Because by the time you do operation, the pollution already come to this area. So the boundary is not fixed under some condition. Of course, if just accident or some of the static event, then control boundary could be a static, okay? But if the real chemical attack or some radiation attack, this boundary is dynamically change over time as a function of your pollution's coming rate and your response rate, response speed, okay? So we optimize our control plan by your computer, by your model, and then come out solutions. So a solution will tell you, okay, those are the, how many percent should go here, because close to, remember access close this area. So mostly try to 100% you let them go there, okay? And here's the 30%, 70% go different direction. Talking about the traffic flow here. Traffic flow here should all go to I-270. Traffic flow here, some should go the direction, some should go direction. Those are the computation result. Then we do not use the two evacuation route, okay? Mostly, apparently, those impact area and the traffic could be detoured by using those three major routes, I-270, I-95, and I-66, okay, as the impact most in this area, okay? And then in order for you to do control and management, what you can do? Well, you control on one, don't let too many vehicles come into the zone, okay? And then some you want them to get off. So basically, will be on-ramp, off-ramp control, okay? So there's three types of control: on-ramp control, intersection control, and link control. Link control means what? Speed control, okay? Intersection control is it divert traffic at the arterial level, not let them come to interchange. Ramp have two types, on-ramp and off-ramp. Both could be the control, okay? You can have a, then see the simulation result. Simulation to simulate your optimized result. And then, depending on your result, good, sufficiently good or not, you can modify control area, and then you can redo the simulation if not good. Redo your optimization plan. We can never come out with one shot of solution, okay? And general report, okay? These are the general procedures. For example, here you can see want to limit access. So you have an on-ramp interchange information, very detailed. I can see where to detour traffic to different direction, okay? Guide them to take different direction. Your result tell you whether should close the ramp or not, or keep open. If open, then what percentage should go to which direction? Any percentage should go to another direction, okay? So the actual real-world plan got to be very detailed, cover all the critical aspects. So ramp control at 270 spurn, certainly accidents around this area. We don't want more traffic coming to the control room, okay? Want them to all get out, so we need to control a ramp. And you can also change the signal. How to control ramp? Ideally, you don't want to control immediate at the ramp. Hopefully, you can control ahead of ramp at the local arterial. If local arterial, you have a signal control, and they will not be able to access the ramp, okay? That is a step one to control the long queue at the ramp. So you can change your signal time. Means this actual control. So you have maximum green, minimum green, amber time, or red time, or vehicle extension time. Those are the key components for actual control. If you take plan to take a exam, that's one of the commonly asked questions. What are the key components for actuator control? Those are key components. For actuator control, you have a maximum green, minimum green, yellow time, or red. Amber time is the same as yellow time, or red time, and unit extension time, okay? So you can see whether you need to change signal or not. And also because you want to quickly push out the traffic, go out area. So you also try to consider some link, maybe do a reverse operations or control flow operations. So can change the inbound lane for outbound traffic purpose, Of course, depend on how many lanes, depend on the volume distributions. Some area you can do so, some you may not be able to do. And then you have to identify where you can do the reverse lane operations. And then specify your reverse operations. Here's the same example as we showed yesterday. Specify which lane for which direction, okay? Here's outbound, inbound. You may select 1 or 2 inbound for outbound. And put in your model and rerun your systems. You can see here cover from where, starting point, ending point, what are the speed limit controls, okay? So you got to be very careful in design or operate those reverse lane operation system. And after you are done, as I mentioned, all the control you can do is what? Ramp control, signal control, mainline link control. That's all you can have, okay? And then redesign your system, see what happened. Okay, then you can start to run your system, see what would be the evacuation speed and evacuation throughput. Okay, here's the impact zone and the time bar. You can see time bar currently how many vehicles in which locations, okay? How many vehicles here, and the total up to this point, this total number of vehicles to be evacuated. And this, so far up to this time point, how many is already get out of the system. Remember here there's no pedestrian, okay? Why? Because they're all on freeway, okay? Pedestrians are not supposed to be on the freeway, okay? So this evacuation does not have a pedestrian. In the downtown area you have pedestrians, but pedestrians have to be what? Convert into the vehicles, okay? You don't walk during the evacuation, okay? Unless you're Superman, okay? Otherwise, so in this is a beltway, so all are converted into the vehicles. So there's no pedestrian here. And this remaining evacuation demand, so at any time you can see this 100% to be evacuated, some already evacuated, okay? You can see current condition. And as I mentioned, sometimes you can, one area have more people evacuate or less people evacuate. So example, this case you can see, okay, remaining vehicle, pedestrians, how many, okay? That's pedestrians have to convert into the vehicles, okay? What percentage remain in the control zones? If they're still at the local zone, then still a pedestrian. But get on the freeway, we have no pedestrians. I can see the speed distribution at any of the, that's current times 10:05. Your project time is 10:15, okay? How could you have project time? It's based on the simulation. How could you simulate? It's based on your control parameters, input to simulation, and your assigned traffic volume for evacuation, okay? And then simulation will tell you how good your system's evacuation plan or traffic management plan. This not necessary. The one example I show you is not a major evacuation, it's just a major accident, okay? And then you see what happened, okay? Those apparently those area, we say 100% go at 270, create a bottleneck here. You want to use the left traffic to see what happened, and identify bottleneck location to see are there any factors has not been taken into account in your traffic management plan or not. And then we identify what one potential reason could be incident at that particular locations. Okay, so you know there's incident, then you need to have what? Instant response system. Instant response is one of the major tasks for traffic management. As I mentioned yesterday, for day-to-day recurrent congestion, not much you can do, okay? Or you can improve maybe 5%, 6%. That's, you can apply run metering, apply all kind of control strategy. But for day-to-day congestion, the most you can do is 5 to 8%, no more than 10% improvement. But for incident scenario or non-recurrent congestion, with and without the incident management plan, could have more than 20% of differences. Because if accident happen, you're so slow to respond, and queue develop for so long, compared with a very efficient response, good traffic management, the difference could be very, very substantial, okay? Unfortunately, we have not done much of the incident management in Taiwan yet, okay? Then we'll show, okay, here's incident area. We need to detour here. Okay, that gives you a general idea about the system operation. But this PowerPoint, you can keep for yourself. Someday you're working for a traffic control center, that will be a good one for you to remember what are those major devices you need, what are the major functions. We are putting the entire system for entire Washington region, okay? That's the one I mentioned, we have multimodal. This should be DAL, okay? That's wrong. That's the one in the Washington, D.C., okay? In the Baltimore, we showed you yesterday, have a multimodal evacuation, okay? This model come earlier. And dynamic pedestrian routing pickup location. That's the one I showed you in Baltimore. Use a bus system for emergency allocation, okay? In Washington, D.C., bus system is very insufficient, okay? Most people just prefer driving, unfortunately. So most of the evacuation still rely on the passenger car. But we need to use more bus in this case, okay? This bus pickup location, subway station are the main gathering point for pedestrians without access to cars. We call visual system, that's 3 years ago, okay, now already done, okay? You need to have a detect and image sensor for real-time traffic monitoring, okay? Use more of the good real-time image, okay? And this is same as my Ocean City system, the temporary system to enhance the monitoring function. Some location you may not have there. Let's say on snow day, somewhere have an accident, you can put a temporary monitoring station or detector station to provide the supplemental information, okay? And also you need a high-speed computer to perform real-time simulation prediction, okay? The ideal rate is 1 hour simulation you can get done in less than 2 minutes, okay? If your simulation simulate 1 hour, take you half hour, and by the time you finish, the half hour traffic condition already changed. So your prediction will always be behind the actual traffic condition. So we in general, we prefer the ratio. 1 hour for 1 minute will be ideally you can do, okay? But if you cannot do that fast, you don't need to project for 1 hour, you can project for half hours. So those are you can see the entire system we have done is one DC evacuation system I already showed you. I-95, 295, this one we have show you now. And this is the I-270 simulator system. We call simulator actually is the entire management system. Virginia system we have not done. That's belong to other state. Virginia state is not Maryland, okay? They all together constitute the Washington, Virginia metropolitan, okay? Okay, here give you all the evacuation systems. As far as I know, those covers all you need to know, except the recent 2 years become popular to use the cellular phone system, okay? So now let me show you one example of cellular phone system applications. Okay, quickly show you two simple ones. These are another dimension of the information you could have for your traffic management or any above mentioned monitoring function, okay? And it become popular because it kind of low cost if drivers are willing to cooperate with you, but also not effective if driver don't like you, okay? This is what done with my former student, Dr. Yue Liu. He's currently in Wisconsin. And you guys can create such a system. If you try to tell people in the 科学园区 Science Park, if you guys can create such epics and let them know all the traffic condition in the Science Park, so they every day can help them when they should come here, which path they should go, and let them know approximate travel time. Maybe you can start to charge them, okay? Tell them we can, by following your device, you can substantially reduce their time. If they're working together with you, could be another business opportunity for you. Huh? There's a large population in this, working in the science park, right? And they all experience congestion problem. But this purpose is not just for monitoring, you also want to use for advisory purpose. Okay, I think I'll show you some part in the Ocean City's enhancement system called iChart. By the way, you guys should have your own creativity to create those systems. This is all done by my graduate student. Okay, and it's low cost as long as you have a good promotion strategy to promote and hope people follow you. And you can write your program, write the apps program, and start to attract people to use. And perfectly legal. This try to take advantage of the iPhone information, reliably tracking everybody to get the feedback and provide information too. Okay. Remember, Google. I don't know in Taiwan, in US, every time we use a Google, they will ask you, "Are you allow me to use the information or not?" Okay. You say yes, so they track you. You say no, they still track you. Okay. They just don't let you know. Okay. So they actually use your information as part of Google Maps, travel time information or congestion information. Okay. Okay. This Ocean City. The first lecture present you Ocean City, but we have not used the cell phone yet. We just finished the system. From next summer, we'll try to promote the use. But to me, it's a little bit trouble. From a research point of view, we already know how to do it. But actual operating system is very time consuming. You know, you need a database, continuously update information, and constantly feedback to the driver, right? They allow you to use their cell phone location. You have to provide information feedback. Otherwise, they are not interested to provide you information. So it keeps so busy. And I'm suggesting some students to start a small company, okay? Maybe more meaningful. Otherwise, it's too time consuming. At the research level, after you know the know-how, it becomes boring. So after you publish a paper, unless you want to start a company, but it's too much work, okay? And these are the purpose, okay? That's Marian's servers, the mobile sensing technology, and the whole system. And these are purpose: trip planning, emergency guidance, event inquiry, blah, blah, blah. Basically, it's an information system from driver's point of view. From driver's point of view, you just want to know the information, okay? But from the operator point of view, you use drivers as a mobile detector, and that's actually more reliable because I told you, you have detectors only at the stationary location, tell you point measurement. They don't know the condition between detectors. But mobile sensors actually moving, tell you the actual condition, okay? And that's advantage. But the disadvantage is if there's a major blockage, nobody can pass the location. Nobody can pass the bottleneck, then you don't know what's happened, okay? If you don't have information, okay? So you have to, based on the complete trip, to project traffic condition. Okay, here you can see, this is what? This is all traffic, okay? This is a beach, okay? It's actually very congested during the summer weekends. So you can open what you have here. This is actually a student term project, okay? To finish the term project, I expand as the research work. So in my area, I always want students to convert the research result into a product which can have a potential to use. Also, you can identify, you have how many potential category. I know those categories already available in the form, okay, in the information system, accommodation, dining, blah, 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 blah. Those already available, right, in the most of the sightseeing locations. But you can add one for traffic conditions. Okay, select the information. That's just dumb picture, okay? So you're back to the main menu of the Ocean City. From a driver point of view, too, you want to know whether there's accident ahead or not, any incident ahead or not, any congestion ahead or not. If yes, how long will it last? And then what should I do, okay? That's the main part. Especially you have a route choice to do, okay? You can choose the route properly. When you are stuck in the traffic, you always hope you know what's happened, the entire traffic condition, so you can do your better decisions. Okay, here it's okay, there are 14 report to you. In this case, it will be active information system means something happened, we automatically inform you rather than wait for you to check. Okay, that's advantage. So you can just drive on your predetermined route. If something happened, next time we add location, there's speed radar around here, right? People always want to know whether police are hiding somewhere or not. You want the driver to know. So those information actively provide to the drivers. Drivers appreciate that. Otherwise, they always have to remember when to call you, when to check. It's not easy. It's illegal now. I don't know, in Taiwan, in U.S., most of the states become illegal. You cannot text. You cannot talk. Of course, we still talk, okay? But if you bad luck, you may be caught by police, okay? So if you actively use a voice message to display and to inform the driver, and that is legal, okay? And say we inform the driver there are so many incident events in the system, and some are accident, and some are traffic congestion here. The accident here, here's a traffic jam here, okay? Back to the Ocean City one, you can see any emergency or not, anything happen or not. Okay, there are two emergencies, okay? Of course, this is a created example, not actual condition, okay? If there's a related to the hurricanes or flooding, then you come out, where to go, okay? Those are automatically passed to the drivers and tell the driver what to do, okay? There's so many things you can do, okay? If you know an incident, you know the emergency, and decide whether you want to continue your trip or not. If not, where to go. If you are not so sure, then you ask more detailed information. See what happened, historical data, if there's an accident, how long it takes to clear. You can also provide the real-time information here. You can see travel time information, okay, current record, what happened in some location, how long to go, 52 minutes to go through which site, okay, that's current condition. You can also see historical information too, but it will be difficult for not operate system. And here to show you, you can also back to check what are the conditions in the last weekend or last couple of days. So all those functions are available in the iPhone, in the smartphone. You don't need to create some additional function. As long as your database structure are structured properly, you can select different time days to check your historical record. You decide Ocean City is a long stretch beach, okay? So if one particular pond have a accident, you can choose to another route, go to the top. And continue top the Ocean City, you will reach to the Atlantic City, which is a gambling city, okay? They're all along the East Coast beach area. Okay, so you also provide a route guidance in the area. This can take advantage of Google's information too, okay? Those basically for trip planning purpose. In order for you to do your planning purpose, you want to make sure the location have a normal incident or work zone, okay? Very common you have a work zone. Work zone means they constantly do the maintenance work. You want to avoid those work zones in your route choice. Too many of those steps. And then you can see whether you have work zone or not, okay? They tell you there's no incident now, take how long to get to your destination, okay? This entire area is a beautiful beach resort, okay? You want to check if this work zone or not. If yes, how many lane closure, what kind of work zone, okay? They will tell you that there's no work zone, okay? So you can relax. And then next you want to know where's the parking area. If you drive to your particular beach, that's very important information, okay? Because most area in the, I don't know, Taiwan, in US congested beach, you have no way to access to park your car. You may drive there, no way to park and go back, park 2 miles, 3 miles away. So parking information is also one of the critical information. Sometimes you may choose carpool to go to the beach area. We also provide parking information to the system. Shelters that represent the area. If some emergency happen, you can stay there temporarily to get supply of food. But during the high season, this become an area for people to temporarily stay for their vacation, okay? Everything's done, then you can start your trip, okay? Get all the information clear in the Ocean City, then you can start your trip and already advise your route. Also tell you the projected traffic condition during your trip and the current condition at those locations. And this navigation will be similar to Google's case, except provide you more of the real-time traffic condition, including the work zone, emergency, or any control guidance placed on the highways. Then if incident happen again, some location then will inform you and remind you to find out to detour and bypass the incident location. Here's incident will pop out at the map, okay? The Google will not pop out the information to you, okay? Google does not have those information, because those information is controlled by the every local agencies, okay? So they inform you what the current condition, okay? This is en route information, means during your travel encounter. The previous one is called pre-trip information, means before you take your trip, you want to know what's happened. I think we can apply this system in the freeway number 5 to Ilan too, okay? Before Friday, you want to go to Ilan for vacation, you can log in, get on to see what happened. Typically, Friday, if you depart on 8 p.m., what will be traffic condition? Okay, get those information, select your best departure time, and choose the best ramp for you, and then go on your trip. And in the meantime, they constantly provide you information. They may also advise you to maintain your speed around 40 miles per hour so you will not encounter this stop condition, okay? Those are all can be used to communicate your control and traffic condition with drivers. And driver, in the meantime, you can feedback, cooperate with the traffic management agency. By doing so, we demand and supply can more balance in the actual system evolution process. Right now, the problem is supply side control have no idea about demand pattern. A demand side does not know what exactly supply side traffic condition going to be. So they all kind of on the blind shot, try to hurt each others. Okay, then tell you current reminding. Here we're designed to tell you how long it will take to clear the incident. This is one of my students' research work, okay? So incident clearance time to advise you and the impact area. Or you have a work zone condition. Work zone, you can go there, but just depend on how long the queue at the work zone area. It either tell you queue, spatial queue, or tell you how long the delay is going to be with and without work zone condition. In other words, additional travel time because work zone. I can provide those information too, okay? Constantly remind you, work zone is coming. Why should it remind you? Because to avoid accident, okay? A lot of times, work zone have an accident. Traffic come quickly, but under work zone condition, traffic very common reach a stop queue condition. So high-speed vehicle may come with a rear-end collision. Okay. Also tell you the delay. Here say work zone is 2 miles ahead, so Messi automatically display. And remind the users drive below the speed, some speed, or you have a detour point. You can advise driver you should detour here now, okay, to avoid the queue at the work zone. And here give you the access information. We are working on trying to design called speed harmonization, because if everyone approach work zone with proper speed, so apply variable speed control here to minimize the stop and go condition, okay? And that's a way you can directly communicate with drivers. The presentation we have yesterday show you use a roadside message to remind the drivers, and it will be more effective if we can also communicate with drivers through their cell phone, pop out, remind them, and that will be more effective, okay? And that will be part of the variable speed control strategy. My student created too many accidents here, okay? If you have so many accidents, the best choice is what? If indeed they have so many accidents in the route, the best choice, I would suggest what? Go home, okay? Don't go, okay? You better not to go. It take too long. This trip, no congestion will take what? 3.5 hours. You know, the weekend, it's very typically condition during the weekend take 8 hours, 7 hours. It's not uncommon, okay? It's entire route, because entire area is popular, is jammed by all the tourists. It's a very popular area in the summer. Used to be in the summertime, my research team will all go together to the area. We claim we're going to do a detector recalibration, okay? So we calibrate 3 days and let everybody to have fun for another 4 days. Part of the job of students to learn how to do a detector calibration. And then you have some way to remind the drivers, okay, what happened, what should be done. Remember, every driver, if not every driver, if most drivers work with you, you do have information of some driver here. You have two information of some driver in the zone. You have information some coming drivers, okay? So those are the mobile sensors and provide you much more reliable information than with the detector. Detector, usually by having the information from detector, you need a prediction model to estimate what happened between. But if there's mobile sensor information, you pretty much can use directly if you don't have a good statistics background, okay? In general, and that's what happened. I mentioned this complete blockage. No vehicle can pass through here. Then what happened? You don't know what's happened, okay? You don't have information. And that's a rare case, okay? Usually, if one vehicle passes, then you know that vehicle take how long. You immediately can provide the delay information. If all the vehicles block here and nobody can pass through, then you don't know the travel time from here to here, okay? That's disadvantage. You don't have a stationary detect information. You all rely on the mobile sensor. If nobody can move, mobile sensor cannot give you the complete trip information. Same as use a license plate technique or Bluetooth technique. You have the same problem too. Those are mostly the same information, provide your travel time. You can also show your travel time, use the Ocean City's system, tell your travel time on different route. You can do your own choice. These two choices, quite different outcome, okay? One's upper zone of the Ocean City, one's a lower part of Ocean City. And the entire Ocean City from here to here take about an hour, okay? 45 minutes to an hour, if free flow condition. So it's really a major decision. Where do you want to go? If your hotel is here, you go this way, then you take another, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours if congestion condition. Because Ocean City only have what? One highway, one local arteria, 2 lanes, and always packed with what? Cars. So if you are forced to take this route and to come back here, you need another 2 to 3 hours to get there. So it's very important to have a route choice properly here. You also should have your responsibility, report back any incident. So the control center know what's happened. Here, swimming in the ocean, this Ocean City. See, this Ocean City, really in the ocean. Then you know why we need evacuation. Because hurricane comes, this area will be completely what? Underwater, okay? Completely underwater. So most of those big house here, the first floor is elevated. Nobody live in the first floor. It's prepared for the water. And this rely on bridge to connection, okay? You go over here, up to will be New York, New Jersey, Atlantic City. And those are the report back to the icons. And you just identify condition if you can help. Actively provide help, feedback to the control center. You see the accident, then you can report feedback to control center. Usually, people will call, okay? Calling back is one thing. If you can have images sent back, it could be more useful. Now with the smartphone, it's so easy to take a picture and send back directly. So if you are nice, cooperate with us. We can cooperate with driver, just say, okay, if you report back the instant information, then your trip on the freeway will be free, okay? As the ETC to provide the special favor to you. Any driver join to the APES feedback systems, then you can get 20% discount on travel on the freeways. Then you have an incentive for people to work with your cooperatively and join this kind of eye control system. provide more information back to the highway system, okay, back to the traffic management center. That's why I mentioned to you the first day, you can use a lot of information with the ETC's detection system, okay. This is a report back. You also can report available parking space. Certainly you can put a sensor camera in all so-called smart parking system everywhere, but the cost is too high. The cost is too high. Also, you should keep in mind, install system is one cost, but maintenance system, operating system is another cost. ITS system different from the traditional transportation system is on what area? Traditional transportation, freeway, highways, the major cost is in construction. So if construction finish, then the maintenance cost is minimum. But the so-called IT system, ITS system, the chunk of the cost is what? On operations. You put all detector is okay, but operate those models, operate those sensors, operate those database, and perform the function actually are major cost. So ITS contract should be different from the conventional transportation contract. Otherwise, it will be a big problem, okay? That's one of the problems in developing countries, including Taiwan too. Every time they give ITS project, they actually manage it in a way as a traditional transportation project. Give a lot of money for doing research, but not enough money for all the follow-up maintenance operation cost. And then everything will be there. Nobody really have the knowledge and have the resource to do operation. Okay, so keep this in mind when you become somebody to manage the budget. Here show all the parking space. So if you don't have a sensor at all the parking area, so driver actually can feedback to you how many, for example, you get to one parking garage, parking space, you can feedback how many parking space are available at this time, and feedback to the user cooperative center, and this information can be shared to others. Okay, those are very useful information. Parking is one of the big problem in those major sightseeing area or recreation area. So tell you where the parking based on information. You can guide you where to go to the parking area. As I mentioned earlier, this tell you maybe a school zone or some area for evacuation, temporary stay purpose. But in the major high season, people use those areas as the temporary stay because one, hotel is so expensive. Second, you cannot find a hotel during the summertime. Okay, the winter you go the area, the hotel for 5-star hotel, the winter could be just $60 or $70 per night. The summer, 3 months is what? $500 per night. It's huge difference, okay? So even you have paid money, you may not be able to find a hotel, okay? Because Washington, D.C., all the rich people, all the high-level politicians, they all go there for summer vacation, okay? So you can stay in those shelter place as a refugee, okay, for your weekend stay, as for your economic way of sightseeing trip. So in this area, we have quite a lot of shelters because I told you the ocean city is really in the ocean. So the step one evacuation is evacuate with inland. Much more serious hurricane we have to evacuate, go through the bridge back to the mainland of the Virginia, Baltimore, okay? This is almost like a small island. Okay, these are pretty much will be a supporting component for all ocean cities. The one I present to you Monday, Tuesday, the first lectures, okay? The purpose for me to share with you this one is, I think you guys can play with this game, even for high school, even for your college student, okay? Maybe able to do something for the 科学园区这个 the park, okay? Work with them, maybe able to collect some money and become a useful tool. If you rely on traffic bureau for Hsinchu or freeway bureau to solve the problem, I tell you forever, okay? They're not going to solve the problem because they don't come here to work. The freeway bureau people don't come to the scientific science park to work. Shinju's traffic director, those guys, engineers, they don't come here to work. So they may see the problem, they don't experience the problem, they don't suffer by the traffic condition. They're not going to actually solve it for you. Play around those potential conditions. Maybe that could be a useful way from the supply side as one demand side to help getting a better information or kind of managing the demand side information, okay? Of course, if the network already compact, 100% congested, not much you can do, okay? But if there's some area, you still have a room, not so congested. I mentioned earlier, if all the route is fully reach the capacity, management is not going to work. But flexible working out can help. But if you can fly to the sky and see the network, I tell you, always you will be surprised. They have some link is less congested, okay? And just somehow everybody just enjoy moving to the very congested route. The more congested route, the more people want to go there, okay? Because they are familiar with those routes and they will take those paths. Because we don't, travel does not have a what? Complete information. So this one will provide what? Every driver complete pictures all the available route traffic condition. Maybe they can do a better route choice, okay? Unless there's no choice, only one route. Okay, I don't know, maybe you guys can do a term project or try to create your own business. Extend this one, provide information for people from Taipei to come to a science park. And they have multiple routes, right? And they also have a freeway to do. Maybe they can take a bus. For example, they take a bus system, may have a different route, okay? I don't know, I haven't traveled exactly, but this is a low-cost way, take advantage. And also advantage what they can form a club, can form a user club. And within the same club, they can exchange information. So from the user side, have the information to work together. From the demand side, can also work with the supply side. So that could be a potential one. Next week, I will present you the large expanded version of the system, become the one I show you 100 pages, chart for the traffic management, traffic control, okay? Can be expanded to that far, okay? Purpose to let you know ITS is much more fun than just do a mathematical part. We will talk about some short dilemma zone design, all the system and new system, okay? Okay, the one I tell you, this system is important for the safety point of view, okay? Certainly, if your arterial speed is very low, then we'll not have a problem. But arterial speed high could have a problem. But many developing countries, traffic bureau, their point is not safety. The point is, if your traffic conditions running too fast, the point is just making more money by putting what camera, speed camera to catch you, okay? You can go check every speed camera in those major areas, they make a lot of money, okay? In Washington, D.C., actually true, make a lot of money, and who gets mad? The Washington Post news reporter gets so mad. They actually collect all data, come to discuss with us, see how to fight against the bureau, okay? I want to let you know the whole point is try to improve safety rather than to give a ticket, okay? If you go to Taipei, Danshui area, those high-speed arterial actually collect the money from the speed camera, okay? This is first design, and then the second design will show you. Third design has not been done. Third design will connect with the automatic vehicles. That is our ongoing demonstration project. So-called dilemma zone, I assume most people know. From the textbook, will tell you if your car giving the signal timing, mostly the yellow phase, okay? So the approaching vehicle see the yellow phase. If the speed is different from the design speed, there could be under the scenario is too close to stop comfortably, or the intersection wide is too short during the yellow phase to across intersection safely. So they will be in the decision. Of course, you can always push your brake hard, right? But what happens? You may be able to stop, but you have no guarantee people on your back will not hit you, okay? So there's still a problem. Okay? Some drivers always say, okay, I have the best brake system. I can always stop. Yeah, you can stop. How do you know people behind you is not a 10 years old car and the brake is just halfway function, okay? You run over during the red phase, what happened? One, I don't know Taiwan or not, we have a red light camera, okay, catch you. Or the happen is you run over there, if the signal do not design properly, then the cross street already have a green phase and then have an accident. So you check whether this area have a dilemma zone or not. You check whether there are quite a lot of what? Rear end collision or angle crash. Those are the main information to tell you need to dilemma zone protection or not. And the problem with the dilemma zone is textbook tell you, okay, this is speed, average speed, and then compute the dilemma zone, this equation, okay? Stopping distance and the passing distance. The best design is in the intersection, you can, when you see the yellow phase, you can either stop or pass. Either way, have no problem. That means a good design, okay? But in general, those are the small intersections. With large intersection, you may not be able to design with those kind of system. Part of constraint is what? Your yellow phase always have to be between 4 seconds to 6 seconds. If yellow phase, based on the dilemma zone protection system, if you're going to design yellow phase, maybe 7 seconds for 8 seconds for large intersection. But if yellow phase becomes 7 or 8 seconds, could be a problem. Driver, after getting used to the system, they will treat the yellow phase as part of green phase. Then you defeat the purpose to have a yellow phase, okay? So yellow phase, even though there's equation for you to design, but in practice, always 4 to 6 seconds. No, not go beyond 4 to 6 seconds. So take that into account, then you will have dilemma zones. And dilemma zone, if based on equation we found out, nowadays we call dynamic dilemma zone. Why? Because dilemma zones are not identical for all the drivers. If you drive at 45 miles per hour, your dilemma zone will be different from driving at what? 70 miles per hour, okay? And the problem with textbook type of designs, we always use what? Average speed to design. But when you do average speed design and come out with your dilemma zone protection system, you protect nobody because there's no average driver. Do you understand? You use average data, there's no average driver. I will show you later on the dilemma zone distribution. That's the problem, still have so many accidents. We do have the same problem. Continue 2 years, two schoolboy, one schoolboy hit by truck and die. And that's why our governors kind of push us to implement dilemma zone system. We did one in this case, in this design successfully. Now we are doing another two with some additional functions. Okay, so this zone typically called dilemma zone, okay? And in a theoretical study, dilemma zone also depend on your aggressive driver or normal driver or conservative drivers, okay? In the actual operation, a little bit difficult to distinguish, okay? So in this paper you found out we have done are slightly different from the actual implementations. Okay, first show you dilemma zone as mentioned, requirement, operation flow, and next one will show the new designs. Those are the textbook information from IT manual tell you how to find out the passing distance and stopping distance, okay? And these two different overlapping area will be the dilemma zones. But again, textbook will tell you those are the average deceleration acceleration. So important part, if you do the kind of design, you need to do an actual survey of the driving population because acceleration rate, deceleration rate are quite different by driving personality, okay? The textbook give you is based on the average vehicles allowable comfortable acceleration rate and deceleration rate. But drivers usually use their own preferred acceleration rate and deceleration rate. You can see some people just accelerate so fast, some people just slow and smoothly running, okay? So all those data, equation is fine, all those data you want to use, you have to collect the field data, actually measure the acceleration rate, the deceleration rate, okay? Don't use the average from the textbook. This is the way we did the first one 3 years ago and was successfully eliminated all the accident, okay? No accident over the past 3 years. It used to be fatality every year. And so you have a speed distribution, okay? So you measure car by car, vehicle by vehicle, individual speed distribution, and come out the driving population speed distribution. Okay, here is the, based on previous page, how to go back. You see, this is called speed bin, okay? Each bin, each group, okay? We use every 10 miles as a group, have a different group. Each group, you plug in the equation to compute the dilemma zone. So you found out this is a dilemma zone for driving at 85 miles per hour. Believe me or not, the speed limit, I remember, is, I think it's 45. Some cars driving at 85. Trucks, because those intersections usually is not in downtown area, it's what, suburban area and less traffic. And different from most of traffic study, when you collect data in those areas, you do not collect at what? Peak hour, okay? You collect at what? Off-peak hours. Why? Because peak hours, high traffic volume, usually speed is low. So they don't have problem. And the most of accident happen what? During the off-peak hours, because those are suburban area, there's no law enforcement. Cars driving at low traffic and they run at high speed, okay? So here you can see, if you do an average dilemma zone, will be somewhere around here. You protect nobody. This is driver distribution, okay? Mostly you try to protect those area. Those area, mostly are truck and high-speed vehicle. They come, they cannot stop. Even you give the red face, even you give a ticket, they cannot stop, okay? This area is for the aging slow driver. They could have dilemma zone. But in those cases, because they are low speed, so even they push brake hard, less likely to have accident at low speed, okay? So theoretically, they still have a dilemma zone because all the aging drivers, they respond too slow. So when you see the yellow face, they want to go over, but the speed is too slow, acceleration too slow, they cannot go over. That's happened, okay? But they can choose stop. Low speed, in general, less likely, low probability to have a rear-end collision, okay? Because you already low speed, car is behind you already prepared, okay? And those cars mostly try to run over the all red face, okay? So you can see different type of vehicles, different speed, the dilemma zone range is different. Those are this small percentage of the driving population, but those are the guys create the troubles, okay? 1 or 2 fatality accidents is sufficient to cause trouble to a local government, okay? So all design try to protect this range. Those below the speed limit is okay, it's no big problem. Ideally, you want to protect all ranges, but then your sensor will have, you need more sensor to cover all those range, okay? So with the limited budget, we just use a coverage on this range as our coverage area. Then you see, that's for passenger car, if add the truck, then actually increase the boundary, okay? There's a large percentage of truck. And there are 2 types of sensors, okay? If you use a traditional sensor, it's more difficult. As I mentioned earlier, this is our coverage zone, okay? What the purpose of coverage? The current sensor we have is for the special design for the dilemma zone. It's a long, wider range radar sensor. So within those range, here is covered by 2 sensors, okay? The new sensor, they can just use 1 sensor cover the entire range. And when the vehicle get into this range, we know they are in the potential dilemma zone. Remember, this is not the dilemma zone for all vehicles, but let's cover different group of vehicles. So once they are inside the control zone, monitor zones, the sensor monitors speed of every vehicles, okay, when the signal change to yellow phase. And then would compute whether the end of yellow phase, this vehicle can pass or not. We're assuming they're all going to pass, okay, pass or not. If not, then we are based on the computed travel time past intersection, the longest one as the all-red extension, okay? You already have a all-red extension to clear traffic, but that all-red extension, in general, 2 to 3 seconds may not be sufficient. So we will extend all-red functions to make sure all the vehicles go through that. Certainly, you can give a ticket to all-red period, okay, for those people driving through the all-red extended period, okay. And the purpose is, when you extend all-red period, then the cross street will not be in the green, okay, so will not have accident. The previous accident in the previous years, we end up all-red period for 3 seconds. Some high-speed vehicles still run over. They cannot stop. And those cars, I will show you a video. We actually happened one very close, come very close in our data collection period. Some cars just come over here because they have a green phase, so they assume they have a right of way. So they go over and hit by the car. So remind you in a suburban high-speed intersection, if you are the first car, try to increase your startup delay time, okay? Don't assume you are in green phase. You are entitled to run over. You could be the first one of a intersection, the victim, okay? So you better slow down. Don't assume you, particularly at late night, even you have green phase, don't be too courageous and eager to go, okay? Sure, somebody wants to run over, let them go, okay? So that's the idea of all-red extension, okay? So let's talk about the actual control system, okay? In some case, it's not, the signal does not run all the way to the end of green. It's called gap out. Means there's a gap between vehicles. You can, based on the gap out. Gap out means between the vehicle, the gap is too wide, wider than the pre-specified the gap. Then signal assume there's no vehicle, okay, and then they will change the green time to the other directions. And these sensors are two different sensors. Actual control sensor is put in at a location to detect the vehicle. And this sensor is additional sensor to monitor the whole system. Ideally, these two sensors should what? Integrate together. But actually control, if you know the signal, they all have sensors. And that's determined by the Q locations. And those so-called dilemma zone sensor, it's not very popular. It's just quite a new design, okay? And only right now, only the smart sensor company, Webtronic, has this kind of design. Later on, we'll talk about, because this company become more and more arrogant, monopolize the whole system. So we try to design a new point detectors to replace those functions. They just try the actual control concept, okay? Here's the actual sensor here. You can see actual sensor here, okay? All the model of the sensor can cover only 600 feet. So we put one mount on the top intersection. The second one mount at the roadside in order to cover the 800 feet, okay? And that have dual purpose. I told you from the research point of view, actually one will be enough. I can put it in about 200, that location, can cover 200 to 800. But for real world operation, I try to be more conservative, okay? So a little bit over design. I put two sensors in the system. Why? One more sensor does not cost that much money, $3,000. But $3,000 compared with potentially save one life is much more cost effective. Also, I don't want a complete sensor, and they know that designed by University of Maryland, Dr. Who and who, and next year comes another fatality. And the governor will say, oh, that's by who and who. The newspaper actually report all the system, okay? So remember, in the real operation, you already devote so much effort to come out system. The actual hardware, one more hardware, over design. Okay, be careful over design. Real world practice associated with the life. Associated congestion is fine. Congestion people can tolerate. Associated with life, you want to at least be over design. Okay, keep that in mind. You see mount here. Do you see that? The roadside part. Okay, roadside. Another one is at the post. Okay, this actual system. This is not the one I show you for the term project. Okay, and this is system connect to the cabinet. So another put it inside the cabinet so you can detect when the signal changes to yellow phase. Okay, you know, signal change to yellow phase, not easy to know for actuator control, because actuator control, the green times change, right? For pre-time system, of course, you don't need, you know the pre-time schedule. You know when's the yellow, when's the green. That's easy. Okay, so you can see that's a design. You see that's actual control, the key parameter. Why do we have maximum green 1, maximum green 2? Anybody know? If you know the actual control, why in the actual control, the key components, if you take an exam, they'll ask you what are the key components for the actual control. In general, maximum green time, minimum green time, unit extension time, right? Why you see there's 2 maximum green time? This actual real world system, they always have 2 maximum green time. Maximum green time, why there are 2? You have not listened, none of you attended my actuator control class, okay? So you don't understand. Don't tell you, okay? Okay, here's the difference between the traditional sensor and the Lec03 sensor. Traditional sensor for the actuator control purpose, there's acute detectors, okay? Those are point detector. You can only know whether the vehicle occupy here or not, pass here or not. You don't know what happened between, right? So that's the actuator control detectors. And the dilemma zone detector is what? It's a long range detection. You know vehicle all here, okay? So then you can put a many loop detector here. Then that will be too expensive, okay? So this, you can see the different monitoring functions. Since you have all those functions, remember with those functions you can better design the signal. But this sensor is much more expensive than this sensor, okay? It's almost 3,000 compared with the 500. I'm talking about cost in the United States, okay? In Taiwan, it's much more expensive, always 5 to 10 times more expensive in the developing country, okay? Okay, those are the references. There's some more reference for the system. So the one I show is a primitive, early version of the system, okay? Let me show you the new system, then we can get done. So the previous system only rely on what? Extension of the all-red phase to prevent accident. But again, I get bored with doing the same system again. So this year, we finished a design to do the 2 more intersections. And also consider student can publish paper. The previous system already published. Then we redo the 2 intersections for the state. It's no point to publish, okay? So we have to find some way to get students publish paper. Publish paper is not fun, but that's become essential for all the students and junior faculty too, okay? It's publish or die, okay? Either way, you survive or not, depending on your publication. So you have to find a way for students to publish, but meaningfully. You don't want to publish and not meaningful for the real world application. So we come with the new systems. Okay, there's 2-level system. The one I present to you called Type 1, basic system. Just extend the all-red phase. The new system we design is you put this is protection zone and put the sign here, VMS message here, and speed advisory here. First talk about the purpose, okay? I will actually add another component in the controller, allow the image, radar image directly connect to my office. Because, you know, sometimes put the sensor there. State people, they are so busy. Sometimes they may not know whether it's working or not. I tell you why in the previous system I put an additional camera on the roadside. You know why? One was for safety reason, for over design. Another is for the purpose, because when drivers see the additional camera on the roadside, they will what? Automatically slow down, right? So once they slow down, at least have safety protection, okay? So that's because I'm not so sure state people, they are overloaded whether they monitor the system or not. In case the system may not working, something happen, I still bear the responsibility, okay? That's part of the reason I over-design, put one more sensor on the roadside. I found out that's very useful because every driver see the camera, they automatically get the idea that maybe a camera take a picture, right? So that's part of the purpose. Because for dilemma zone area, if traffic speed is low, there's no dilemma zone, okay? So another idea come here. With that idea, still take a long time to persuade the operation agency because sometimes you have a new idea, but have to consistent with the current law. And they worry about something new may have some disturbance to the driving population and may get complaints. That's maybe excuse, okay? The main reason maybe they're just reluctant to do anything new. That happens in every country too, okay? Public agency, they usually prefer to maintain the status quo, means current condition will be better. And the last system has done good function, so they want us to follow the same way. I told them it's okay, but we cannot publish a paper. So I insist that we need to add one more component. So what the purpose here? The purpose here is, I say, the reason from the driver behavior analysis, you can see, although we cover this zone, but the driver actually has different tab. For here to here, maybe cover the coverage for this, the 75 miles per hour driver group. There are 5 or 6 different driver groups within all together in the big zone, okay? Their actual distribution is not identical, okay? But I cannot separate them in the monitor system, okay? So the actual driver response, when they see the yellow face, could be different, okay? We have a published previous paper, we survey more than 1,000 people, 1,000 driver response at 4 different sections. See under what condition they see the yellow face, the decision is to stop or go. Quite different. It's a function of what type of drivers, your age, type of cars, how far from the intersection. Okay, we publish in the TR and the traffic safety journals. So are quite different. So in other words, drivers actually see when they enter the control zone, they see the yellow face. The response are quite different. Some people, by all means, they couldn't pass intersection. I tell you, truck drivers, pickup drivers, based on our survey, they mostly want to go through intersection during the yellow phase because their business purpose. And one type of driver prefer yellow phase will stop. Now getting more and more people will stop during the yellow phase. You know why? Everybody use the stop time to call, to make cell phone message, okay? Since last year, the law already passed. Call during the driving is illegal, okay? Penalty, I forgot, $200, $250. So since the law passed, you can see yellow face, everybody slow down. They stop there, start to texting and making phone call, okay? That's a good sign, okay? That actually can reduce a lot of dilemma zones, okay? We survey, we found out that time, okay? And females more prefer to stop because females enjoy talking more, okay? And so they all kind of function, so their response will be different. So we put a sign here, the two purposes. One, advise the driver, I'll say, signal change to yellow. Then we advise you should reduce the speed to our advisory speed. Then we guarantee you can stop safely at the stop line. You will not be caught by the dilemma zone. So that's called what? From preventive side to prevent the driver from trapped in the dilemma zone, okay? That's one. And if some drivers just so stubborn, they don't follow you, so aggressive, they will continue run over intersection. Then we will activate the type 1 design with all rate extension to protect you and protect other people. So we can add one function from preventive side and the control side, two purpose, okay, to help improve the traffic condition. Why, as mentioned, the driver is actually all kind of driver within the same dilemma zone protection system. So that's the purpose here. That's type 2 system, okay? And then here's the issue. If you are doing the design, here's the issue. Where should I place this sign? Where should I place this sign? How far this dilemma zone I can determine based on my driving population survey, right? So where should I place this sign? What should be speed? Advisory speed. Have you thought about? And then you can arbitrarily put the distance, okay? You can do one way. It may not be optimized, but will have some impact. But if you're going to write a paper, I told you the practice and paper are slightly different. Practice as long as better the current condition, and to be on more conservative side. More conservative and then work will be fine. But you can publish a paper, you submit a paper, they're going to ask you, okay, location where? Why? Or you have to find out your logic. You have to make reasons why this is a good location. What speed should you display here? Okay, so this type 1, think about, okay? We just finished the paper. Have to find some way for student to publish paper, right? Otherwise, they doing the project will be a waste. So they type 2 design. Identify the location for VMS sign. But by the law, if you are going to have some advisory, you need to have what? A warning sign in advance. Okay, so we can set a warning sign, inform driver to stop if the signal flash. This is already in the law. But put this advisory speed is not in current MUTCD guideline. So put this one is a new challenge, okay? Anyway, this is a static way for the type 2 design. Now we are trying to work on we have a third intersection is supported by a federal government. We try to extend the functions to the type 3 design. Type 3 design is, if you only, in my point of view, you put a variable message sign here, put a flash sign here, all you can tell people is during the yellow phase, what they should do. How about during the green phase? Will be completely waste, right? Okay. So we come out with the idea. This is quite new, has not done yet. Remember, in the first day presentation, I show you that now it's getting popular to so-called eco-driving, okay? Economic driving or green driving, okay? Or ecology friendly driving, okay? And some they call what? Call green traffic, green management. So another one they talk about is called speed harmonizations, okay? So that could happen if we thought about it during the green phase or starting the green and approaching vehicles coming during the starting of green or the end of red phase. We could give them advice. How should you slow your speed? So by the time you get to the intersection, the queue already clear. So you don't need to have what? Complete stop. So in a way, it's a progression control, advisory for driver speed. So minimize driver's potential stop, okay? Remember, many times you see the signal is red or signal is green. You're not so sure whether by the time you get there will be able to pass or have to stop. Or you see the queue there, by the time you go there, reach there, queue has not cleared yet. So you have to reduce the speed from 50 miles per hour to 5 miles per hour. Okay. So we will try to design a so-called speed harmonization control to advise driver the proper speed and respond to the queue condition. So ensure most of them follow our advice, can reach the intersection during the green phase without stop. So in this way, we take full advantage of the signal here, this message sign here. One, if during the red phase or yellow phase, we advise you to stop for dilemma on control. But during the green phase or the end of red phase, we advise you the speed to minimize your potential stop, minimize your potential delay. In the meantime, to what? To reduce fuel consumption and emission. I told you that's become a hot topic, okay? How to reduce ozone fuel consumption emission is become a huge topic. So that is our type 3 design. Nobody has done yet. Okay, I'm telling you our new idea we're designing now, okay? Then the question is, you see, you need the algorithm. How do you provide advice? Let's say here the advice driver say, okay, now it's under red phase. By the time we reach there, the red phase will be changed to the green phase. So we advise you speed to 40 miles per hour. Then you can reach the intersection without stop. How about your algorithm so lousy? You give me advice, I follow you, I always stop. I always queue. Then nobody can follow you, right? So you need the algorithm to be able to predict the queue length, queue formation, queue discharge time, and give a proper advice, okay? So support your systems, even though you may want to do over-design, but they all need a rigorous research to support you, okay? Think about it, okay? This is open research. You guys can do the research too. And from the investment point of view, if you combine two functions together, then you have a selling point. Then a sponsor agency have no excuse not to support you, because now even Taiwan, developing country, facing the pressure to reduce the emission, reduce the greenhouse impact. This become very, very serious issue, okay? But if you just talk about the dilemma zone, protect safety, I tell you, developing country usually pay no attention to safety because the population is so high. Some people die, they don't pay much attention, okay? So I suggest if you're going to promote the system, combine two together. Speed harmonization, you can say the advanced signal progression system. One signal provide to you another driver to feed to the signal condition that were more likely to be accepted by the agency, okay? Okay, here's the system component, okay? The older system, we only have this component, smart sensor, connect this component, okay? And the new advanced warning system, that's the one we have here. We designed all wireless system, okay? All wireless control with solar panel. You can two function. One's a message sign to advise drivers there's a signal coming. Why do we need this one? In some intersection at a rural area, the sight distance may not be sufficient. By the time they see the signal, it may be too late to respond, okay? So we need advanced locations to give the warning, signal is coming, okay? And then you can put these two want to put together or not is debatable, okay? Whether your advisory should be together with the flash sign or not. The reason we put together is because the law do not let you separate. I am not convinced this would be a good design to together, okay? But or demonstration we have to put together. Otherwise, they say you have to wait another year to pass the law, okay? That's too much trouble. But for the academic study, you have to study where are the locations to provide advisory which can function for two purposes: speed harmonization and speed advisory to stop purpose, okay? And this is one, pass the image from the smart sensor, convert to text computer and come back to the lab. So my lab or the traffic control center can continuously monitor the radar image to see the actual working or not. Because for this system, I only put one sensor. There are already so many components, so I only put one sensor. So I want to make sure 24 hours the sensor is working. Okay? And we design a warning, the monitor system. If sensor is not working, they can pass the message to my student's cell phone, not to me, okay? Send to my student's cell phone, reminding him, go activate the system, okay? Remember the wireless system, very commonly goes stop, okay? You have to reactivate if necessary. Okay, this is complete system design. The research issue, as I mentioned, where should be location, the sign, and where should be the location for the speed advisory, and how to set the speed, what would be the algorithm to determine the speed advisory for stop and for speed harmonizations. This is kind of small piece of project, but useful for a rural area or any major arteria out of the metropolitan area. For example, Taiwan Route 1 or Taipei Metropolitan to the northeast coast. Those areas definitely have a dilemma zone. Okay, here are the major sensor components. The only deficiency for such system now is what? We rely too much on the smart sensor from the electronics. The sensor is the only one have such wide range coverage. So our, you can say, Type 3, Type 4 design is try to replace those smart sensors with other type of cheaper sensors, okay? Otherwise, now we always have to use a sensor. There's long range radar sensor. That's not good. If you design a system to be dependent on one company's product, that will not be a good design, okay? So we are working on try to think about if you instead have one long range sensor, we have a 2 to 3 cheaper sensor, but the algorithm will be different, right? Originally we can monitor vehicle one by one within the control zone. Now you only have point sensor, then somehow you need an estimation algorithm to know the speed between, okay? So that become a issue on where to put those point sensors, even though cheaper, but not that reliable. In these two applications, states say, no problem, as long as it's reliable, just go buy it, okay? But from a research point of view, we will try to see any alternative or not, okay? And the signal controller need to be advanced signal controller, because this controller allow you to have a 2 or rate extension function. Most of the controller now do not have those functions. In the United States, it's fine. Econolyze, the one largest company provided controller. The new controller from 2-3 years ago, the new controller does have the function. You can have a all rate extension setup and have an automatic programs all rate extension function. Okay, so these are two constraints for this design. Okay, but those are the design not for hardware problem, not for system problem. It's for cost benefit problem. Okay, let's say you only have a pre-timed controller. It's a dumb controller, does not have the function for all rate extension. What should you do? Okay, so in Taiwan or developing country, most of the controller does not have this function. So we have to think about some compromise design to satisfy this function. Unfortunately, in developing country, the dilemma zone accident is a lot, okay? A lot of those rear-end collisions. This is the current new sensor function, up to 600 detection for motor vehicle, 900 for the heavy vehicles, okay? We use a 600 as the design range. And all the components, you need a PC, so those are cheap. You can see are not very expensive. Even the sensor is just $3,000, not that expensive. Whereas moderns, okay, connection modules come out information between all those components, okay? You don't need a big computer. You can use a laptop, it's fine, huh? And the standard approach, the one they want is reliable approach. Standard is just use what? Use the distance between the control zone and the sun based on response time and the computer distance, okay? But I told you those are the textbook type approach. Not really consider the discrepancy behavior among drivers, okay? So on the paper we will design a different one. And the signal transmitter transmit the signal from the controller module to the message sign, okay? Of course, you can use the hardwire to make sure the message is working continuously. But if no traffic, sometimes I believe we can put a sensor, if no traffic, it may terminate, it may turn off the sign too, okay? But the trouble is just 1 or 2 traffic vehicles come with very high speed, could create a problem too. So we are talking about what? If you have enough funding, put a sensor also on the side street. Okay, if side street have no traffic, then you do not need to have a main directions control. No? Here's the all-rate extension criteria. How many seconds you use extend all-rate phase? So you can see in this advanced controllers, all-rate phase extension, you have standard all-rate phase. If you detect some cars in the dilemma zone, then you do have what? Capability to extend the all-rate phase. And the all-rate phase function, of course, based on speed, acceleration, to determine how many seconds do you need, okay? Okay, this is the new system design. I have 10 more PowerPoint to show you some quick data collection, okay? So that won't be long. Show you one of the quick evaluation result. This is the first intersection evaluation result. To quickly show you how to do evaluation. This is outline, okay? This is what? Do you know what this is? Can you read what this is? This is a standard accident record for intersection. They write down where location, okay, how many accidents happen in which location, okay? That's a standard report in the federal states intersection diagram to show the accident record. If you don't know anything, just see how many lines here. The more line here means more accident, okay? And the location just show you where the location happened, okay? One more line means one accident. So we need to base on accident record to identify what kind of accident, okay? Here you can see there's a through left-hand and the side crash. You call angle crash, okay? This kind of too small, you may not be able to read. This current signal logic in the type 1 design we did before, do the extension, do the evaluation here. And this actual intersection. You can see we have a two radar sensor, two sensor. One covers this area. That's all the sensor for 400 feet. And another roadside coverage in this distance. So the entire dilemma zones are within the coverage. And these are the side street. Because actual control, we also put one here to synchronize the signals, but we did not provide protection at the site. And then after 3 years, found out no accident on this site at all. Their accident continue on this side. That's why they want us to improve this side, put the actual design here. That's one of the ongoing 2 projects. Used to be every year, there are 1 or 2 people die because of this crash, because this one down slope, high speed. So all the high speed vehicle, even the signal, the red phase, they still run over. Without the all-rate extension, this direction already green phase, and that's a problem, okay? So don't assume green phase, you can just go, okay? It's assumption other people respect you. And this is the design I mentioned here, zone 1, zone 2 design. I can see how we collect data. You want to make sure data is reliable. It's at all locations, different locations, 300, 400 feet. We want to see how drivers response during that dilemma zones, okay? And video cameras is a tough job. Compared with your data collection you guys have done this morning, I believe we have done more detail, more careful, okay? Every different distance, we have a camcorder and a tube to do the speed measurement. You can see those other locations. I think you only do the collection here, right? That's all you do. Maybe the Q length, 2 locations, okay? But you will not know the speed evolution, okay? But enough for you guys. I know you guys suffering for that data collection, huh? Okay, here's the one we use camera and synchronize all the, you have to synchronize the signal timing with your video camera, okay? The timing plan should be, the time clock should be synchronized with the GPS tool, okay? To measure the speed, travel time over that period. So we have what? 22,200 vehicles for this data collection. Individual 2,000 vehicles of data during 4-hour period. So you can see we are not lazy. We're not trying to take small sample. Just one intersection, we have 2,000 data points, 2,000 vehicle data over the dilemma zone, and to see how they respond. This is quickly show the data, okay? Detect vehicle data during the phase. because this after study is very difficult. How do you know the system is effective or not? Have you thought about install a system, right? Of course, after 1 year, 2 years, nobody died, no accident, we'll say, oh, okay, effective. But does not always be the system's function. May not be the contribution system because it could be actually no accident, right? So how do you prove your system effective? Have you thought about this? You install a system, right? Because safety is different from the delay. Delay you can measure delay reduction, say improvement. But for safety prevention, well, could have no accident. That's all. And your system may not function, but still have no accident, right? How could you say your system had improvement? You can do as another example, okay? You know the system, right? Okay, so I put there, prevent accident. We have an evaluation function, not covered here. I was not very pleased with this one, but the published paper they accept. But actually the bigger picture, you want the rigorous way. How do you know a system work? Work is not a functional work, it means actually effective. If there's an actual accident, of course you know your system not working, okay? But accident is what? It's a stochastic event. It could happen that year is lucky, nothing happened, okay? That does not mean your system is working, okay? A system could be working, this year could have a 10 accident, but because your system, you reduced from 10 to 2. You don't know exactly. So the safety research, they use a dynamic Bayesian, empirical Bayesian try to predict if you do nothing, what would be the accident, okay? That's involved another issues. But for this case, how do you know the system working? So if your brain want to function properly, activate your brain, you always find a research issue. But you want to work dumb in a dumb way, there's no issue, okay? Put system there, no accident, fine, okay? But you want to publish paper, you want to identify issues, okay? Here just say, give you some hint, okay? This basically is similar to the classical problems you're detecting incident. And you can see how your system actually work. Given you know the dilemma zone, we monitor 2,000 vehicles speed response during the time period in the dilemma zone in the signal condition. You should be able to know whether your system functions as you originally designed, as you anticipate or not. No answer here. I'm not going to tell you answer, okay? You need to some way to think. Otherwise, you steal all my research issues. But everyone can come out different evaluation function, right? You can have evaluation functions. I'm not kidding because, of course, the sponsor, they may not so critical ask you the questions. Oh, there's no accident. I have 3 years, no accident. They think my system is very good, okay? Sometimes I tease them, I say, how do you know my system is working? Because I put the additional sensor, additional camera on the roadside. I intimidate everybody. That's why it become effective, okay? That could be partially true, I tell you, okay? Because right now, I don't know my first system is always working or not because they don't have a remote access design. So the sensors sometimes work, may not be work. They don't know until they have someone to go to see. This usually is 1 hour away from, exactly 100 miles away from my lab, okay? It's in the boundary of Maryland and Delaware. And the state highway control center, they don't know either. That's why I insisted the new system, I need a remote monitoring function. So honestly speaking, could be not effective just because I have a 2 sensor, 2 camera there. Driver see the camera, and then naturally going to slow down. Of course, in the writing a paper, I want to say effective, okay? But you have to come out evaluation functions. Here you can see detection time and speed and location. In the survey that day, I actually found out there's one car on the side street, on the main street, actually run over the already face. On the side street, indeed have 1 car almost going to hit together. If we don't have a already extension, we'll hit, have a collision, okay? Because the angle, the side distance, side distance 2 sides, they may not be able to see the approaching vehicle from the main directions. By the time they see it, too late. That's why I call an angle crash, okay? So we use that videotape to show how effective, but not a scientific function to show you how effective. But even though there's no accident, you can see what? How many times your sensor actually call for all rate extension, okay? and see how many times they, based on vehicle detect speed, they actually trap in dilemma zone or not. So you can see whether this one detection rate means similar to the instant detection. So many times there could be a vehicle actually trapped by incident, by the dilemma zone. Maybe your system did not catch and did not activate the already extension. But there's no accident because it happened to be what? No car on the side street, right? So you may not function properly, but no accident, you're lucky. Accident is really bad luck, okay? Another way could be what? Could be your system has false alarm. Your car, those detection speed, the vehicle is really not in dilemma zone, but your over design, the signal continue, always try to activate, extend the already phase, okay? So that would be what? False alarm too, okay? So you can base on detection rate and false alarm to determine whether the system is effective or not. That's a kind of classical way. But I want to design more advanced way, a simple way, okay? That's the way we evaluate whether they're working or not. After 2,000 vehicles, I forgot how many vehicles is it during the yellow phase. Based on those vehicles during the yellow phase, and they respond for passing or stop, then you can see, because you measure, that's why we have so many point of speed. We measure those speed and see whether they're actually in the dilemma zone or not. If yes, you see whether your signal actually activate already extension or not. If yes, it means you function properly, okay? Even not, means you do not detect. It means the detection rate is how many percent of detection rate. You may also have false alarm too. Originally, we are a little bit over-designed, so activate too frequently. So you have to adjust those parameters. Because you measure the vehicle speed, it depends on driver day to day. Could be some different driving populations. So your parameters still have to based on real world data to feedback to adjust your control threshold, okay? That you can see how your system is functioning properly or not. If it's just based on the accident happen or not, that's not indicator, okay? I tell you, you could be lucky, there's no accident, okay? See, that's the actual video. Those cars coming, and there's one just in data caching period actually happened. Where somewhere I didn't see here. Oh, okay, they didn't put the video here. Anyway, this completed my ongoing work for the 3 dilemma zone and speed harmonization systems. Hopefully, someday you can have applications for somewhere here, okay? But I know developing countries pay no attention to the safety issues. Until you become a developed country, you will pay attention to safety issues.